and welcome to my fourth and final NaNoWriMo 2016 update. The next time you see me, hopefully I'll be crossing the finish line. For right now, I've certainly made a lot of headway since last week, and I am sitting at 43,995 words. Mentally, I'm definitely in a better place than I was last week as well. The Thanksgiving holiday definitely helped out a lot. I got to see some family and friends, including some that I didn't expect to see. I got to see my niece and play with her a lot. She's 3, and it was really, really fun. One of the funny memories I have of writing during the Thanksgiving holiday was Friday morning. I took the day off of work, and I was sitting at home. And I got up in the morning, and my cousin's wife was actually sitting at our dining room table, and she was working on an article for work on her Mac. And so I got out my little netbook, and I sat down, and I started working on my novella, The Corners. And other family members started getting up and started getting breakfast and like commenting, well, this is rather quiet and rather peaceful, and I don't know, in a way it felt a little macabre to me because I was writing a section of my novel from a very angry narrator who was very put out with his family and cursing up a storm and just pissed off at everything. So it wasn't necessarily, peaceful, but that's sort of the life of the writer, I guess, is that we outwardly look rather peaceful. Who knows what we're really writing about? I tried telling some of my family and friends about what I was writing about, and I'm not sure exactly how they took it. Like, I was telling them that I was writing literary fiction for my novella, and that it was about probing family dynamics in the face of some acts of violence and trying to see how relationships change and how people's perceptions change and characters really change. And I think I got a little bit of glazed eyes. And I was thinking about how explaining literary fiction to this crowd kind of feels like the Saturday Night Live skit from a couple of weeks ago. Tom Hanks was the guest host, and it was a parody making fun, I think, of CBS, I think it was, where they were creating a comedy that was really a drama. It made me laugh because it was mocking self-seriousness, and in a way that reminds me of literary fiction. Which I love, and I still write it. Or sometimes too, I think about the Audible commercials that I hear on Pandora, where they're selling their service by talking about people getting immersed in the stories, and it's all genre fiction, it's all, I'm sitting on my plane, but really I'm in my vampire romance, or really I'm fighting pirates, or, it's all, adventure and sci-fi and so forth. And I was thinking, I wonder how they describe a literary novel. Like, I'm sitting in my car and I'm thinking about death. I'm thinking about how it impacts members of a family and how it shapes a family throughout generations. And then I slam my car into a tree because I'm overextending my brain thinking about minutia. I don't know. Somebody should make a parody of an Audible commercial, I think, for, some sort of pretentious literary fiction. But I keep writing it, and although mocking self-seriousness, I think, is something that has merit, I hope I'm still on a deeper level doing something right. And with that in mind, and maybe setting myself up for failure here, I thought I'd read a little piece of something that I wrote that probes how people view death in different situations. Last week I, talked about being a nano-rebel, so I thought this week I'd better talk about being a fiction writer again. So here's something that I wrote during my 2016 NaNoWriMo for my novella, The Corners. She broke from decorum then, turning her back to the neighbors as she stared down at her husband's gravestone. She had a sudden memory of her parents at a Holocaust memorial in Europe when she was a child, dropping stones around the plaque. At home, they would light 4 yard-site candles on the anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz. But Anna didn't feel the need to honor her long-dead husband in such ceremonial ways. She wanted to talk to Nate. "Hey, babe," she murmured quickly, conscious of the fact that she only had moments before she was likely to be interrupted. "Hope that was to your satisfaction." It was difficult to imagine her husband, perpetually gregarious and youthful, responding to the deaths that had followed his own. He had never lived to be an orphan, like her parents with their stones and candles. His relationships were like kinetic energy. She could see him at 19, laughing with a beer in his hand and twirling around her at a school dance. She could see him at 25, lifting his daughters from the Chester River into the air, the water glinting from his full head of black hair. She could see him in his 30s, egging on the ravens with his father in his parents' den, or sneaking up on his mother like a teenager, putting his hands over her eyes and guffawing as she spun around. I should mention maybe that scene takes place during the funeral for Nate's mother, who outlived him by about 10 years. And also I'm pretty sure that I can't have him in the Chester River swinging his daughters around because it's too polluted. It's probably something I'll have to switch in revisions. So I hope that wasn't too painful for you or for me, and I guess I'm gonna go. Got a couple days left, and I got 6,000 more words to sprint through before I see the end of this, so that's my plan. Hope everybody is doing really well. Congratulations to everyone who's won or everyone who has met their goals, whatever they may be. And I hope that those still chugging along like me are meeting goals of their own and feel optimistic about their projects, because we've done great work this month, no matter where we are. So keep writing, and bye.